Hello and welcome to RevWheels, where enthusiasm meets expertise. Today we have with us the new Nissan Magnite. Now this car, it was launched late last year, so you already have some information about it. So we thought, why do a regular review? Instead, let's ask you, our viewers, what you wanted to know about the car so we could answer those questions in detail. So we decided to pick the top 5 questions that basically had a commonality with the others, and we're going to answer those. But before we go ahead, you know the drill. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, etc. And please do it because it's really important for us. So our first question is from the local chef, and he wants to know what are the changes to the interiors because the earlier version felt a little too Spartan. Yes, Nissan has revised the interiors to quite an extent in the new Magnite. The first thing that you notice is this abundance of leather everywhere. The dashboard gets the leather treatment too, and it feels extremely premium. You also get leather quilted seats which feel great, and they are UV resistant too, so that they don't get too hot. We think it looks great in this orangish black combo. Enhancing the interior experience is the ambient lighting as well with memory function. So overall, the cabin does offer a richer experience now. The next question is from Rajendra Jadhav, and he wants to know about the ergonomics and the space offered by the new Nissan Magnite. Now, Nissan has really worked hard on the ergonomics of the new Magnite, and it's something that they talk about in the brochure as well. So they talk about the optimum visibility angle, which is at 35.4 degrees. I'll tell you what that means. It's basically the angle between the topmost point of the windscreen to the lowermost point. So you get excellent visibility. Now, the excellent visibility apart, even the driving position, the seat, they're quite elevated. So you get a very elevated driving position. Now, this seat, even at the lower most seating, it gives me a very good view according to my height. And once you lift it up, it really puts you up high up there. So new drivers or drivers who aren't tall, I think they're going to find it very easy to drive the new Nissan Magnite. The other thing that Nissan talks about is couple distance. I'll tell you what that is. So it's basically the distance between the front seats, which is optimum at about 700 mm. Now, I'm not sure how couples will react to that, but what that helps in is it helps not rubbing elbows or the shoulders, because the distance, like I mentioned, is pretty good. Now, talking about the rear space, as you can see, I've got plenty of knee room here, so that's not an issue. Headroom is not an issue at all. But width-wise, the Nissan Magnite is on the compact side, so seating 3 people abreast might be a tight fit. You also get aircon vents at the back. You've got a Type-C charging port for your mobile phone, and you get 2 headrests, not 3. Now, talking about the boot space, the Nissan Magnite gets 336 liters of boot space, which is decent, but still a little less compared to competition like the Tata Punch, which gets about 366 liters. The next question is from Mamta Soni, and she wants to know which is the best engine option to buy with the Nissan Magnite. So the Nissan Magnite gets 2 engine options to choose from. You get a 1-liter naturally aspirated engine with a 5-speed manual gearbox, and what we have here, a 1-liter 3-cylinder turbocharged engine with a CVT gearbox or a 5-speed manual. So the engine makes 99 bhp and 152 Newton meters of torque, which is slightly more than competition like the Tata Punch. The best part about the powertrain is the engine gearbox combo. There is enough torque available on demand, and the gearbox, even though it's a CVT, has been tuned extremely well. The rubber band effect that one expects from a CVT is minimal, and that's because Nissan pretty much makes the best CVT gearbox out there. They had it in the Sunny, the Micra, and even have it in their flagship X-Trail now. Power delivery is seamless and overtakes are quick. The Magnite always seems to have power when you need it. Even cruising at triple-digit speeds is effortless, and the engine feels in its element both in the city or highways. So if you're considering the Magnite, then this by far is the best engine option to go for. Our next question is by Abhay Tiwari, and he wants to know what is the fuel efficiency of the Nissan Magnite like. So according to Nissan, the Magnite with this engine combo returns a mileage of 17.7 kilometers per liter. So we drove it around town and on highways to get a real world figure, and we managed a 12.4 kilometers per liter in the city and 17.6 kilometers per liter on the highways. So when we talk about an overall figure, we managed a very good 15.05 kilometers per liter, which is pretty good for an SUV with a turbo petrol and a CVT gearbox. Our next question is from Ravi Shelke, who wants to know how comfortable is the Magnite and is it easy to drive in the city? Let's start by talking about the ride quality in the Magnite. So the suspension in the Magnite is tuned pretty well with a high stiffness rebound spring, and it works well for most of the time. It takes in bumps nicely and does not get upset easily. But the suspension is pretty noisy and there's always a rattle emanating from the suspension when you go through a bad patch. This can get annoying, but it's something that you get used to. Apart from the compact dimensions, the Magnite is easy to place in tight spots, and a 5-meter turning radius makes it easy to drive in the city. So those were the top 5 question and answers that we think covered all the aspects of the new Nissan Magnite really well. However, if you do have more questions that you want to get answers for, you can always leave a comment in our YouTube section or on Instagram as well.